think a great horror game, for me, can't have much replayability. Watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the third time round isn't as scary as watching it through your fingers from behind the sofa that very first time. Actually, this is still awful. Why would you do this to yourself more than once? Subsequent watches don't take anything away from a horror film's quality, but the uncertainty is vital to building tension. The fear of the unknown is a very powerful fear indeed. A video game, being more interactive than a film can ever be, is better able to build tension. You can actually take that advice that is yelled from the back of the cinema and don't go in there. You can save yourself from the unease and the apprehension. All you have to do is turn the game off. But you won't do that. If you're someone who plays horror games, you're a proponent of having your nerves slowly but surely get the better of you. The problem I've had with horror games is failing them. Playing through a level or section of a game multiple times over because you keep dying over and over can't help but lower the suspense. When you know what's around the corner or see that close-up death shot of your killer too many times, that fear of the unknown gets weaker. But make a game impossible to fail and you remove any threat whatsoever. So what's the middle ground? I can give you one game from my recent memory that successfully wrote me in, shook me to my core and didn't let go until the game was over. And it sure doesn't look like a horror game. Anyway, on the Game Pass front, we've got a few horror survival games that I haven't played before, so let's see what they've got. You may want to turn the volume down just a touch. I was extremely scared playing the first half an hour or so of Hello Neighbor. It doesn't look like much of a horror game on the face of it. I mean, does this guy look particularly scary to you? But Hello Neighbor builds fear, or rather unease, through its peculiarity. The people look a bit weird. The houses and all the items within them are crooked. Everything is drawn in bright block colours. It all just feels a bit off. Not outwardly scary, but enough to keep you on edge. He's outside. Oh! Get in the house. 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 Oh, you prick. There he is. Oh, he's throwing stuff at me. Run! Adding to the strangeness is Hello Neighbor's refusal to ever tell you what's going on. I had questions from the moment it started. No. He got me too? What? Wait, what? Why is this man who kidnapped and maybe even killed someone in his own house chasing me just to put me back on the other side of the street? I'm not totally sure what happened there. I thought it looked like he grabbed me. And whose house am I going into? I'm sorry, don't judge me, but I'm just going to turn the sound down a little bit. You can't change the... You can't turn it down? Wait, what? No matter how many times you are caught, the consequence is the same. Start again. The repetitive nature of the game, in which you solve increasingly complex puzzles to enter your neighbour's house, slowly takes the edge off. Wait, what? What's he doing to his house? What the hell's gone on here? When did he put this together? My shoes. Oh no. Wrong foot. By the time I figured out what I was meant to be doing, I'd been captured by my neighbour so many times that I'd lost patience trying to avoid him. Yeah, that's right. Oh. Ah. Yeah. Give me that. Ah. Oh, my ball. Oh, I'll just take this and go. No. I'll just give me that. I'll see you around. I've got what I came looking for. No need to bother you again, sir. No! I'm sorry. I admit Hello Neighbor probably isn't trying to be a traditional horror game like the ones in the intro to this video. But when its premise is to make me nervously tiptoe around the house, avoiding being caught, too many things broke the tension and broke my immersion to keep me playing. Why is he doing this? Alien is an undisputed classic in the horror genre and was the first to mesh horror and science fiction. Its success spawned countless sequels and spin-offs, which vary pretty wildly in terms of quality. This one was actually okay. But I think most would agree that none have lived up to the terrifying thrill of Ridley Scott's original. Alien has had its fair share of video games too. Again, we've got a pretty broad spectrum of quality.
Roger that. All clear.
Affirmative. I'm here.
Wait, where's O'Neill? What the hell happened to O'Neill? Oh God.
Alien Isolation released in 2014 and is arguably the best of the lot, foregoing donning a predator suit or gunning down swarms of xenomorphs, instead trapping you on a ship with a single alien and asking you to do nothing but survive. In doing so, Alien Isolation captures that same sense of helpless dread that made the original film so scary. There are plenty of explicit connections between Isolation and the original Alien. You play as Amanda Ripley, daughter of Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley, who flies aboard the Sevastopol space station to recover the flight recorder of her mother's ship and hopefully uncover the meaning behind her disappearance. Like the film, there is a deliberate holding back on the reveal of the xenomorph. Where Isolation does so well is in those moments where the alien is out of sight, but very much in your mind. You can tell it's close, on the hunt. You might hear it crawling in the vents above, pick its movement up on your motion sensor, or see trails of blood from victims it's carried away. Of course, this might just be my paranoia getting the best of me. But that's the point. Isolation uses subtlety to exploit the doubt and panic in your mind. There are teases and glimpses for the first hour or so before you get the longer-awaited reveal. Oh, Oh no. The lighting is key to creating tension, from your headlight batteries running low as you climb through claustrophobic air vents to ominous shadows moving in the distance. The soundtrack does the same. Sharp strings, crashing bass, and heavy drums ramp up the anticipation almost regardless of what's actually going on in the game. Oh god. Oh my god. This is terrible. This is terrible. That was not cool. Nothing was going to happen there as well. It was just the music. I knew it wasn't going to come out. Stupid aliens. Isolation's faithful recreation of the Alien universe makes for a fantastic looking game even 5 years after its release. There's great attention to detail that you pick up on as you keep playing, and plenty of small, neat gameplay effects, like being able to focus your vision on the foreground or background when looking at your motion tracker. Isolation is a very fitting name. Most of your time is spent alone, running from working Joe androids, other survivors on the ship, or yeah. It makes any moment where you meet a friendly a welcome sigh of relief. Although everyone on the ship tends to be a bit of an asshole.
Ripley, I need to find a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
Oh, brilliant.
My friend needs help. Medical supplies.
Me too. There are no supplies on this level.
Great.
But there are plenty downstairs in the hospital dispensary.
How do we get there?
Do I look like I'm in any fit state? I need your help.
Yes, you
mine.
do.
You find the passcode for the service
What's
elevator
wrong
and then
with you?
I'll come down to the hospital with you, okay?
Passcode?
Yeah. Morley's office is your best bet.
Alright, yeah, thanks mate. See you shortly. Fair enough, I get it. We're all being hunted down by an extraterrestrial killer.
I'm Ripley.
Where'd you come from? Ripley!
Tensions are high, but surely someone on this ship can treat me with a little bit of respect.
You get it?
Okay.
Perhaps it's just to shelter your emotions from more harm, as there's a bit of a theme that develops with how your meetings with these people end. Even Amanda is abrasive to the point of being a bit of a bitch.
It's a permanent free port.
I know what it is.
I get that your mum is the original sci-fi heroine and that's thanks to her no-nonsense, gritty attitude, but I mean, could you lighten up just a bit? When selecting the difficulty, I got sucked in by that phrase, "This is the way the game is meant to be played." Challenging and terrifying, it said. Well, they were right on both accounts, but not necessarily because of the difficulty. You're pretty hopeless in isolation when it comes to combat, which essentially boils down to don't get spotted or you'll die. Parts of the game can get repetitive when you have to play through them 4 or 5 times, learning the circuit of the patrolling AI so you can move past them. It becomes a bit of a monotonous cycle that isn't particularly challenging or terrifying. I can't say how much the lower difficulties remove this. It's certainly not terrifying if you can just willfully shoot down or run away from everything. But if you want maybe a slightly quicker experience, it might be a better option. This is what I thought until I reached the encounters with the Xenomorph. It's the same premise, gameplay wise. Hide and sneak your way past the hunter and pray you don't get spotted. It's a bit of a steep learning curve to begin with. The Xenomorph is faster than you, can hear your every move, and I think might even be able to smell you. I was feeling that same old repetitive problem to begin with, going through the motions just to get killed after a minute of hiding. But after figuring out the cat and mouse game, I started to feel like a smarter mouse.
What are we gonna do tomorrow night?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Using the right tools, you can maneuver around levels without being seen. I started to feel half a step ahead, hiding in lockers and throwing distractions at just the right time. And save points are dotted around just frequently enough to give me the courage to move forward, while infrequent enough to make me cautious and feel like there was something to lose. Overall, Alien Isolation is the most faithful and authentic Alien experience made in a video game. And that is what makes it so terrifying.